All right. So, hi, my name is Lori, and I am a LightNet collaborator. We are here today interviewing Kel about her contact experience. We are on a quest to interview 100 incredible people who've accomplished contact. Do you know someone that could be interviewed? Reach out to team@lightnet.org and be a part of our mission to share the most valuable knowledge on the planet. And if you're interested in finding out more about our contact or other labs, check them out at lightnet.org. So, hi, Kel. Wonderful to see you today.
Thank you.
Yeah. So what was the thing that made you want to make contact with the other side?
I have been fascinated with this whole realm literally my whole life. Um, I kind of, I guess, came in just sort of open to all of this. My first, um, I I guess, dance with this realm was with crystals. From the time I was just a little girl, I started playing with crystals and rocks and digging in the ground. And I thought I wanted to be a geologist when I was a little bit. My first, what does Kelly want to be? Was a geologist. And then I found out all they do is, dig for water and oil. And I thought, oh, that's not fun. Why what I really wanted to be was a gemologist, but nobody told me that. So I gave up on that dream and switched to psychologist.
That's so amazing. I love
And
crystals too. I remember being 2 years old out in my little front yard picking up rocks and stuff. So that's
two
amazing.
years old, yep. That 2 years old was my first real memory.
Yeah.
And in the driveway. Yep, that's exactly right. And so from there, I kind of graduated to, um, pendulums and tarot cards and psychics and, just the whole witchy woo realm, I call it, just it's just always been in my life. And, but under the surface, it's just back then, I'm a Gen Xer, I'm 56 now. So it was always just sort of that secret thing with your friends. We'd go in the woods and, do our little thing, hide it from parents and hide it from the grown-ups and the teachers. And, it was just our little thing. So, and then of course the movies. We had the Close Encounters and E.T. and Star Wars and Gremlins and Goonies and all, Lost Boys is my all-time favorite movie. Just all of that stuff to me wasn't fiction. I would
Right.
watch those movies and feel stuff. There was, we would look at each other and we'd be like, we knew stuff. We didn't necessarily talk about it that way. But my friends and I, we would act that stuff out. And I, I don't know. I've just always had these feelings, when I was little, like in my neighborhood, like there was like a group of us, and I felt like, that ragtag little band, like just, and then we busted apart, and it was like the Orion Wars. They broke us apart, and it was, like we scattered, and that was kind of the end of it. And I don't know. It's just, I don't know. I'm really kind of lost at the moment. So, it, it's, I'm trying to like find my tribe again or something. It's just weird.
Right.
Something weird happened recently, and kind of blew me up again. And I'm in a weird place. So, but I, as far as, wanting to find contact, like it's like who am I? Where am I? What's going on? What's my mission? What am I doing here? I've never been human. Like I've never been a real human. you
Right.
know, I've
Definitely.
always been really damn different, like really freaking different.
Me too. You sound like my heart.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
And yeah, so that's why.
right.
Just trying to figure
Awesome.
it all out.
So, let's see. Okay. So, so you've made contact though? Would that be with like with ETs or angels or past on loved ones?
And this is another I am not really sure because I have trust issues, big trust issues. I'm adopted. I've been abandoned multiple times. Um, my mother was a covert narcissist. I've been terrible, like I've been like abused, like big time, heavy mind control. Like I've had a really weird existence. It's been really rough. So I I don't believe, like I have a hard time trusting a lot of, like I've been on the spiritual path my whole life, but this ascension thing is new to me. So while I have always believed that we're not alone, I always thought that if ETs could get here, we'd be like ants to them. So why would they bother if they had the
Right,
tech? You know what I mean? So I was like, like the whole creation thing never occurred to me. That whole like, oh, they created us. Whoa, that was new. And
right,
then so the bigger picture was like that's okay. Oh, okay. So I've had to like, oh, whoa, wait a minute. Because I've never been into religion. I ditched that at 7. And
I was
so
12.
so yeah. So like that, uh, you know, so like now I'm like, oh, whoa, wait a minute. How does this work? So I'm real confused at the moment. Like, okay,
Right.
what are, so as far as messages and, like, is this just me talking to me? Because it's, mostly in my voice. I've gotten a couple of voice of God, what I call voice of God type messages,
So most of
clairaudient
your
type,
contact would be basically through like telepathy.
mostly telepathy, clairvoyant, like my clear senses are pretty strong,
Awesome.
but like I said, I'm just now starting to kind of realize that, like, as I meet other people and start to really kind of talk about it, and as more of this comes into the zeitgeist, oh, that's what that, oh, okay, because
Yeah,
I was
that's awesome.
thinking, yeah, like
I've been
I was,
experiencing that myself, I'm sorry, a whole lot with the
mm,
channeling and discovering that the voices I thought was just me talking to myself was really me channeling, these higher
yeah,
vibrational entities and stuff. So that's really awesome that we are actually on this interview together, I think.
yeah, like I'm so alone and have been so alone, you know, in most of my life that I just haven't had anybody to bounce stuff off of to even find
Right.
out, or even, and so much of it has been so out there, in the realms I've been in to even bring it up, like like really the realms I've been in to bring any of this stuff up, I'd have been committed. I'd have been pulled right out of where I was and sent right to the freaking hospital.
Right.
So
Yeah.
I couldn't bring this stuff up.
Yeah, that can be tough to go through alone. I think a lot of us
Yeah,
out there go through a lot of this stuff alone like this. But I
yeah,
also believe that that time is over now. And so that's why we're all
yeah.
connecting.
Thank God. Thank
Right.
God.
So, is there any particular experiences that are coming to mind that you wanted to share?
Yeah, I was I was living in a motorhome recently, and I was very actively trying to go out of body, and I I was getting there and doing what I was calling going through the walls, and it wasn't exactly pleasant. I was physically hurting myself, and but I was getting somewhere, and so I kept trying. And what would happen is I would get part way, and then couldn't get all the way through and would end up like coming back. And I said, and I think that's what was like, I'd end up like physically between the realms, like it between the astral and the 3D.
Wow.
And so what would happen is I'd be meditating and at night, so this would be meditating at night when I'd be trying to go to bed. And I would feel like I was like starting to like go up, and I would get to a certain point and I would feel like I was like breathing, like I'd be breathing, and I would in my mind I would be going, I would be saying yes, like yes, I want to go across. Is in my head is what I was feeling, and I would get to a certain point and feel like I was starting to suffocate. And at that point, that was always the point at which it was like a push, like a push, like a push. And I keep breathing, I keep breathing, I keep breathing, and I go, yes, 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 I want to go, I want to go. And every single time it would feel like that was the push point. And like if I could just get through that, I would make it somewhere, wherever this next point was. And I just I'd go, you know, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. And I couldn't get through, and then I'd end up back. And when I would come back, I'd end up back in the motorhome, and I'd be so so disappointed. Like, oh, not don't no 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 don't send me back to the motorhome and Sparks. It was like I had evolved to a certain point. Like I'd gotten like I'd done it was like I had done so much work. I was like, yeah, 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 I'd gotten so far. No, 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 don't send me back to the motorhome and Spartan. It's like I was playing a video game,
Oh,
and I had
wow.
accumulated so many points or had gotten to a certain level, and they were it's like, no, you have to go all the way back to the beginning with nothing again. And I'm like, no, don't send me back there.
Oh, wow.
And I like, and it was like crushing to end up, and I'd be like, damn it, I gotta be back here again. It was like I was trying to escape. And a couple of times, like I'd be listening to like a Joe Dispenza meditation, and I'd get to the break point, and I'd be like, Joe, grab me, help me across, help me across. And then in my head, I'd be going, Joe Dispenza's not over there. What are you doing? Like it was weird, like these weird thoughts. Like I'm like, what it was very strange. And then another time, like I cried out to my friend Latrice, and another time, like I'm like, what are you doing? There's nobody's going to help you. There's nobody there to help you. Like I'd have these weird thoughts, like like I'd want somebody to like help and like pull me over, and then my head would go, nobody's going to rescue you. Nobody's helping you. Nobody's here. You're on your own. Like very strange. And then I'd end up back. And then like the one time, like both of the backs of my hands were completely purple bruised.
Oh,
One
wow.
time I woke up, one time I woke up in the middle in the bathroom with my head wrenched against the corner of the wall, trying to get through the wall.
Wow.
One time I woke up, my computer was like splayed across the floor, and I was in the middle of the floor. It felt like I was coming back up through the floor. Like weird experiences, like when I would come back, where I would end up in the motorhome. Like I'd be in different points in the place.
Wow.
And then I moved and came back to a different place in town, in a terrestrial place, in a condo. And it started happening again. Only this time it was in my mattress. It wasn't through the walls. It was in the mattress. So weird. And it I would pop back out into the room, And it would still be that sort of apocalyptic, damn, I'm back here again. How am I going to get out of this? And then I popped through.
Oh,
And what happened was I I it instead of like going through the wall, like I was pulling over sort of, and I kept breathing, kept breathing, kept breathing. And it when it came to the break point, I started to like come back to my body, which usually at that point it would send me back into the room. And this time it popped me through the mattress. It was the weirdest thing. And I
nice.
went, bloop. Like I went through it and back out again. It was just a quick second thing. And I ended up like sitting back up and like I could I could see like the room was real hazy and I could see these like colored, sparkly kind of spirals everywhere.
Wow.
And I was just sort of like, wow, what just happened? Like, what did I just do? From a physical standpoint, from a quantum, it was fascinating. And it
Right.
hasn't happened since. And like my body hasn't tried to do it again.
Oh, wow. And so you were just in your house
I
there?
was in the house. Mhm.
Wow. And then you just woke up. Do you have any memory of like anything that happened before
Yeah,
waking or?
yeah, and I woke up like just was there sitting in the bed and like just watching these kind of spirals, and then like slowly the room like came back to its regular, physical,
Wow.
you know,
That's amazing.
yeah.
What advice would you give to someone looking to make contact or to, get to those places?
Um, don't do it the way I did. Um, I'm I'm a weird case. Like I'm a maverick. I'm my life and lifestyle and I'm not somebody like in my like I don't have like relationship like see, I'm a strange one. You know what I mean? Like like I do as like I'm more as a and I like I hate to even say this because I can't stand this mentality, but like a do as I say, not as I do kind of, because I'm
Right.
just such my life and trajectory is just odd, you know. But my experience and you know is it's valid and translates, but I wouldn't tell people to do it the way I did. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like it's
So maybe just,
I
yeah, go ahead.
like find what works for you.
Right.
There everybody has their own way,
Right. Definitely.
and my way won't necessarily work for you, but you will find a way that will.
Okay. That's
You know
great
what I'm
advice, I
saying?
think. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like I think that's the thing about this whole construct. I think that we're all finding out is that there is no one way. There is no, this is the way you do blah. This is the way that this works. I think we're kind of blowing that to pieces, you know,
Definitely. Yeah.
and I think that's one of the things that, because like I've I'm I've been kind of a debunker of a lot of things, just kind of going, BS. When people you get all these proclaimers out there that go, this is this, and this is how this is, and this is the way of blah, 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 blah. And I'm going, no, it's not. I did this, this, and this. Perfect case in point. I failed. I don't have a college degree because I failed accounting one because the we took our first exam and the teacher said, I have to fail you because I don't know how you did this. You did all the work wrong, but got all the answers right. And I quit. I dropped out.
Yeah.
And, you know, and instead of looking at me and going, wow, you must be brilliant. Let's sit you down and figure out what you did. He just dismissed me out of hand, ruined my career, sent me into free fall for the rest of my life because I never did get a solid career in anything, really. I've
Wow.
had 8 separate careers, a run for Congress. I've been up and down my whole life because I couldn't ever finish anything after that, and my parents degraded me for the rest of my life because I couldn't get a college degree. And
Wow.
instead of going, you know, wow, what did you do? He went, you did it wrong.
Oh,
Get out.
wow. My goodness. Yeah, I've known quite a few people whose parents have that attack as well.
Mm-hmm.
Well, thank you so much for taking the time to come and talk with us today and give your interview about your methods and everything. And I, for
Thank
one,
you.
think that it was great advice, and I really do appreciate your time and everything you've told us.
Thank you so much.
All right. Have a
I
great
appreciate you.